Good day, good day, good day. Good day, Pastor Al. I hope you're doing well. Good day, everybody. It's good to see everyone on this Memorial Day. So, first, I want to say remembrance and honoring to all those who have served. And I found out some interesting information about Memorial Day that I'm going to share in a moment. Howdy, Wayne. It's good to see you. It's good to see you today. I hope you're doing well. So, welcome, everyone. Welcome to Morning Sip with Rev Melissa. I am Rev Melissa, and SIP stands for Spirit in Practice, where we are all about the practice. We are all about the practice, Gladys, because where is the perfection? The perfection is in the practice, Tim. So good day and welcome and happy Memorial Day to all the veterans out there, to all the veterans who have served this country. And I found out today that Memorial Day was first called Decoration Day. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And so, I go down these rabbit holes, y'all. So I found out that in 1869, to honor the graves of those who died in the Civil War, they did that. They honored them with flowers, right? So there was a major general called John A. Logan who established Decoration Day. That's what it was first called. And then over time, its name changed to Memorial Day. So interesting little fact to know that I didn't know. I don't remember that being taught in history class when I was in school, Decoration Day, because I would have thought about, painting my house. Who knew? Who knew? So happy Memorial Day. And on a day of remembrance, it's always good for us to remember ourselves and who and whose we are, right? It's a day to remember how wonderful life is. Yes, Stephanie, life is good. Life is good. And sometimes we forget how good life is. So while you're remembering, remember that. Remember that life is good. So we are concluding our journey with the New York Times 10-day fresh start. So yes, I know they finished on Friday. Someone sent me a DM to tell me. I'm like, I know they finished on Friday, but we're one day behind because we had our meditation with the moon last Wednesday. So that's why we are doing day 10 today. And I think day 10 works wonderfully with today being Memorial Day because day 10 is all about self-compassion. It's all about self-compassion. So what does that say, Sekou? I can't. Oh, thank you. Give yourself a break. Give yourself a break. And who doesn't need to do that? And how can we give ourselves a break? By being more compassionate with ourselves. That's how we can do that. So I just want to remind everyone that we're marrying the New York Times 10-day fresh start challenge with distraction. This all started with distraction, right? And so a wonderful tool that we can use when we feel distraction is self-compassion. So let me go back to day one. Yes, Wayne, be good to yourself. Let me go back to day one. Day one was all about how you're feeling. So let me ask my congregation of joy, how are you feeling today? How are you feeling today? So please put it into the chat, into the comments. I would love to know, how are you feeling today? How are you feeling today? So today I am feeling grateful. I am feeling grateful today. That's how I am feeling today. So please put that in the comments. How are you feeling today? Because it's so important for us to be able to identify and name our feelings. Oh, Wayne is feeling overstimulated. Stephanie is feeling blessed, especially after yesterday. I know that's right, Stephanie. Yes, yes. So, how are you all feeling today? Fabulous and thankful, Pastor Al. All right, now. So, you'll continue and I'll check them out as we go along. So, I want to remind everyone of the definition of distraction that we're working with: to draw away or divert as the mind. So anything that diverts our mind from the present is distraction. And where does distraction start? From within, right? So where can it be resolved? It can be resolved from within, right? Gladys is feeling motivated. Yes, yes, yes. I love that. So we know distraction starts from within. And where does compassion start? Compassion also starts from within. So they're the perfect couple: distraction and compassion, right? All starts from within. So I want to share a couple of things. So I'm giggling right now because I forgot to bring my phone down to the studio. And my producer said, "Oh, do you want to go run and get your phone?" And I said, "No, it's okay." But where's all the stuff that I want to share about compassion on my phone? So hold, please.
Markera egentligen.
Okay. See, I love so say who put the commercial up. Let's just call that a commercial. All right, y'all. So I'm sharing with you some of the information that the New York Times shared about giving yourself a break through self-compassion. I gotta take a breath. I just ran up and down the stairs. Thank you. Thank you. I see you, Tim, is feeling hopeful. If you're just joining in, I asked the question, how are you feeling today? And I invite you to write how you're feeling in the comments. So I'm going to share about self-compassion. So it opens up with this question. So consider this question. Are you as kind to yourself as you are to others? Are you as kind to yourself as you are to others? Some of us are into this idea that we're last on the list, right? We're last on the list. And if you're last on the list, then you're not demonstrating self-compassion for yourself. Because where are you on that list? That list of taking care of yourself, that list of putting yourself first, right? We was talking about this yesterday in Living Life in Joy, and how important it is as mothers that we demonstrate to our children the importance of taking care of ourselves, right? By choosing us first. By choosing us first. Because they see the importance of that, and then they will do it for themselves, right? So, are you as kind to yourself as you are to others? Take a self-compassion break. Ask yourself, what do I need right now? How often do we ask that question? Probably never. What do I need right now? So I've been very tuned into this lately. And as you can guess, what I need right now, a lot of the times, is rest, right? And so I've been more gentle with myself about that, about rest. So, what is it that you need right now? I'm going to go on. It has a mantra, it's inviting us to practice. I'm going to be kind to myself. I accept myself as I am. Being good to ourselves makes us more likely to adopt healthy behaviors. Self-compassion is rooted in Buddhist tradition, right? It's rooted in Christ consciousness. Yes? It's rooted in love. So, of course, they share numerous studies and research that's been done around self-compassion. So I'm just going to share one. They said numerous studies have shown that self-compassion is strongly linked to overall well-being. Practicing self-compassion can reduce depression, stress, performance anxiety, and body dissatisfaction. Oh, that's a good one. Body dissatisfaction. How many of us suffer from body dissatisfaction, right? Have some compassion about our body, our temple, yes? It can lead to increases in happiness, self-confidence, and even immune function. And that makes perfect sense, doesn't it? That when you can show yourself self-compassion, that it will have an impact on our whole physical body, right? Our immune system, our respiratory system, all of our systems, yes? So then it goes on to share some information from an associate professor at the University of Texas at Austin. Her name is Kristen Neff. And she says this: it's a misguided notion that if I'm hard on myself and self-critical, it's going to help me and motivate me to make changes in my life. It does the opposite. When you shame yourself, it makes it harder to make positive changes in your life. Shaming yourself is counterproductive. And some of us think that. Some of us think that we have to be hard on ourselves, self-critical, criticize to motivate ourselves, right? And that really is just a misuse. That's a misuse of probably some of the things that a lot of us grew up in, right? Some conditioning. Yes. When you hear that self-critical voice in your head, is that your voice, or is that you taking on someone else's voice from your childhood? Was there a person in your life growing up that was critical of you, but thought they were motivating you because that's all they knew, right? That's all they knew. I'm grateful that I didn't grow up in that. That's one thing I don't have to unpack and heal, right? But some of us do. So if you have a critical voice in your head, know that that is not who you are, right? Find your own voice, find your compassionate voice, and speak to yourself from that place. She goes on to say, we say what we need to do or what am I supposed to do? But ask yourself instead, what do I really need? That's the takeaway question today. Let's add that to how am I feeling and what do I really need? What do I need really? What do I need? I love those two questions together. Make that a habit of asking yourself those two questions every morning. How am I feeling? And what do I need really? Oh, those feel good to me. Yeah. The more you are able to accept yourself, the more you are able to make those positive, healthy changes in your life. And then she has a really short self-compassion test that you can take. So I posted the link for it on my page. So I took the test over the weekend, and I'm a pretty self-compassionate person. I'm not really surprised by that, but I wasn't always. I wasn't always. I used to be very hard on myself, very hard on myself. So take the self-compassion test, and it asks the question, how kind are you to yourself? So you could take the test and get a snapshot of your level of self-compassion. And whatever that level is, be gentle with yourself about it. So if it's low, be gentle with yourself about it. Don't start criticizing yourself about how you scored on a self-compassion test, right? You can't fail it. It's just information. It's just information. All right. So I'm just checking in. My mother says she's full of kindness. Yes, you are, mommy. I could testify to that. And Stephanie said she feels blessed and I need encouragement. Thank you, Stephanie. She needs encouragement. What do you need? Stephanie needs encouragement. Yes, yes. And Wayne needs to go lightly. Oh, Wayne, I like that. Yes. Part of self-compassion is holding ourselves lightly with light. Hold yourself lightly with light. Yes, yes, yes. So that is day 10 of the distraction and fresh start challenge. So I thought it would be cool just to do a recap. Let's just do a quick recap. So day 1, how are you feeling? And what are we doing with those feelings? We're following the feeling. And remember, on day 1, I was feeling distracted, right? And I peeled back the feeling of distraction and found what was underneath the distraction was anxiety. And then I peeled back anxiety and found what was behind the anxiety was fear. And when I peeled back fear, I found that what was there was this belief, this core belief in the nooks and crannies of my subconscious mind that I am not enough, that I am not good enough. And then I could work with that, right? I could use some self-compassion for myself, right? And I could use that and apply just some love and healing for myself. And I do that by writing. So that's my process. I write it out. So follow the feeling. Follow the feeling. If you're feeling good, if you're feeling joy, if you're feeling abundance, if you're feeling love, if you're feeling kindness, if you're feeling connection, follow that feeling. Follow the feeling, no matter what the feeling is. So what would you do? How would you follow the feeling if you're feeling abundant? You'll follow the feeling of abundance by doing abundant things, right? You're doing that which is in alignment with that feeling. If it's a compassionate feeling, right? Like abundance and love and kindness and joy. Day 2. Oh, this was one of my favorite ones. Exercise snack. Remember, exercise snack and affirmation in action. So we are marrying, just taking a brief exercise break throughout the day, right? You could do jumping jacks. You could do, some wall push-ups. You could do some high knee lifts. You could do some squats, Yes. And while you're doing that, say your affirmation. Put your affirmation in action. I am joy. Yes, yes, yes. Day 3 was fierce meditation. And that day we did a who was that day? Oh, it was Angel Kyoto Williams. Yes. And she had a fierce meditation that was included in that day. And the takeaway for me on that day, because I was sharing some information from her book, Being Black. She's a Zen Buddhist. And she says in that book, you have everything you need. And anything you think you don't have, you don't need. Ah, yes. Write that down somewhere, y'all. Keep that in your visual. You have everything you need. And anything you think you don't have, you don't need. Yes. Day 4 was connection, right? Connect with yourself first is what I talked about a few minutes ago by asking a connection question. Ask yourself a question. A good question is, what do I need? That's a good connection question, right? And then trust your inner knowing. Trust your inner knowing because the antidote to distraction is connection. The antidote to distraction is connection. All right. Day 5 was resist the tech. And that was all about, the technology that distracts us. That is a distraction. And talk about drawing us away from the present. Whew, yes, it's a tool that we can use, right? But how are we using it? How are we using it? Our phones, I'm not even going to get into that. So remember that the way you start your day is with you first. Not the iPhone, not the Samsung. You. Okay? Okay. All right. So mornings are when we are at our most suggestive state, when we're first waking up and when we're going to bed. Bedtime and morning time, right? Suggestive state. Our brain waves, we're going into our the different stages of sleep and brain waves and alpha. Oh, that's what I was trying to remember. Alpha waves. This blew my mind. The TV is the technology in the TV is wired so that it will put your brain waves in an alpha state. So that's why a lot of times people are in a trance when they're watching TV. You ever came up to somebody and you're talking to them while they're watching television and they're not paying you no mind. They are in a trance. It's designed that way. And it's the same thing with our phones. The same thing. Collecting data. It collects data. All those upgrades and stuff, that's just upgrading more data about how you're using it so that it could keep you in the trance. Okay? So you don't want to have that first thing in the morning, and you don't want to have that before you go to bed, right? So in the morning, make a habit of resisting the tech for an hour, y'all, a half hour. Do your morning practice first. Choose you first, not Apple. Okay? All right. You'll see I'm pretty passionate about that. I really am. How many been distracted by this? I have. I'm just going to go on Facebook for a minute. 2 hours later. Come on now. Day 6. Cultivate a positive mindset. And that day was a good day because we did the five finger breathing, right? We did the 5. We took deep breaths as we trace our fingers. And then I said we can marry that with a 5 finger gratitude. So give 5 gratitudes. And then while you have both hands up, you could give some praise. Yes. So that was day 6. Day 7, brush your way to a new habit. You remember that when they had a toothbrush as the photo? So that was all about marrying habits with a habit that you already have. Marrying a new habit with a habit you already have, right? And to set that intention. So to setting intentions as a habit, making intentions a habit and connected to a habit you already have. So brushing your teeth, hopefully for everyone, that is a habit. So after you brush your teeth, you can do something else if you want to cultivate a new habit. So that could be maybe after brushing my teeth, I say my affirmation. Maybe after brushing my teeth, I say something that I'm grateful for. Maybe after brushing my teeth, my producer in the green room saying, I do my jumping jacks, right? Whatever it is, it helps you to establish a new habit when you marry it with a habit you already have. Yes? So one of the habits that I marry, establishing a new habit, is Before my feet touch the ground out of the bed, I say, thank you, God. Thank you for waking me up this morning. Thank you for my life, my health, and my strength. Thank you for allowing me to be in this day, right? I give some gratitudes before my feet hits the ground. Day 8, gratitude, right? And that day they were inviting us to take a gratitude picture, right? And on that day, to some surprise to some folks, we talked about The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. And he has a whole chapter in The Science of Getting Rich about gratitude, because it's all about the vibration, right? It's not about the money. It's about the vibration. So what are you magnetizing to yourself? And gratitude is about well-being, prosperity, all of that, right? All of that. And then there was an invitation for y'all. If y'all don't want to read the book, guess what? Sekou has a podcast, Get Rich 101, where he reads the book to you and then gives his commentary about each chapter. So that is fun. You're in your car, just put on the Get Rich 101 podcast and listen as you go. You know, if you're outside taking that jog or that walk or running your errands, just put it on. That's what you could use this for, to listen to the podcast. Hey, that's a good idea, Rev Mel. I think I'll do that. Very good. So the other part of gratitude was, if Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about the neuroscience behind gratitude, right? And how our brain works. So our brain doesn't know the difference between what is happening now, like for real, and things that we imagine are happening. So we can create positive future fantasies. And our brain will be like, oh, okay, that's happening right now. Although I'm imagining it, I'm visualizing it, right? Instead of negative future fantasies that we are attracting to us, let's attract the positive future fantasies. And then I also invited you to play tag. Play tag with your family and friends. So tag is Thanksgiving, appreciation, and gratitude. So share with someone something that you're thankful for, that you appreciate about them, and that you're grateful for. It's a great game to play during the holidays, like today. Okay. Day 9, get a hug. And so there's so much information about the science of hugging and the benefits that it has to our whole body, to our whole brain. Hugs can lower your blood pressure, y'all. A good, juicy hug can lower your blood pressure. And I shared, that I get hugs every day, and I'm grateful for the hugs that I receive from my sugars and my honey every single day. So give somebody a hug, a real hug. You'll know the difference between a good, authentic hug and a fake one, right? So let's give each other a hug. And if you're not around anybody, you could give yourself a hug, self-hug. And I posted on my page the self-hug meditation. Okay? And that brings us up to today, day 10, self-compassion, right? Self-compassion. So take the test, be gentle with yourself. Thank y'all for being with me on this 10-day fresh start journey with the New York Times and our distraction series. I hope out of those 10 things, you got at least one thing that you're going to put into practice and make a habit. So the next time you feel distraction within you, just say, oh, let me see what I can use to support myself right now. It might just simply be giving yourself a hug. It might be asking yourself, how am I feeling? What do I need right now? Yes. It might simply be putting this away, having a phone fast, a social media fast, right? Whatever it is, remember that you have tools that you can use. And the wonderful thing about tools is they work if you use them. And the wonderful thing about tools is they won't work if you don't use them. Ta-da! So there we go. So I am Rev Melissa, everybody. I am an ordained interfaith minister. I'm a licensed religious science practitioner, and I am a purpose coach. And that Triune is my ministry of joy, where I support people in living life in joy, connected to your yes. All right. So let's get into some joy news. All right. It was a joy day Sunday. Yes, it was. I had my girl, Stephanie Archer, on the show, owner of Abundant Life and Wellness Coach. She did her thing. If you missed it yesterday, you missed a lot. So please go on my I Am Rev Melissa page and check it out. You can also find the show on YouTube. Stephanie is here on the chat. In the comments, you could send her some love right now. Go ahead and send Stephanie some love, because she said what she needed right now was some encouragement. So that's what we do in the Congregation of Joy. We encourage each other. So y'all go on ahead and send Stephanie some love right now. Put it in the comments. Stephanie Archer is available for coaching, and she has married abundance with wellness, and we know those go hand in hand. So she can also support you around your wellness goals. So please reach out to her. You can go to her website, abundantlifeandwellness.us. All right. Thank you so much, Stephanie. It was such an honor. It was such an honor to have you on the show. So tomorrow starts June. Wow. And so June, I love June. It's one of my favorite months because a lot of people that I love have birthdays in June. And so for June is Black Music Month. It's also Pride Month. And my husband, Marco Nobles, is going to curate June for Living Life in Joy. So what does that mean? So he is reaching out to his network for independent artists to be guests on the show for June. And so guess who my first guest is for Black Music Month? My husband. Yes. So Marco Nobles will be my guest next Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. He is the creator of Rhythm and Soul Radio, which is an internet radio station with amazing independent music by artists that some of you probably have not heard of, but they are out there doing their thing. And so if you're tired of mainstream music, and he plays a little bit of that, but if you're tired of mainstream music, because you know they play the same songs, the same like 10 songs over and over again. So if you want to hear something different, go on to rhythmandsoulradio.com and check that out. He's on all social media also. So join me Sunday, 10:30 Eastern Time, right here on New Thought Media Network for Living Life in Joy. Please save the dates for our next Meditating with the Moon. It's the new moon, and we will be doing that on June 11th at 4 a.m. Eastern Time, right on Zoom. Okay, so we're doing that on Zoom. We do a spiritual practice, and I'll let you know when you can register for that. Save the date, June 13th. 2 things are happening on June 3rd. Oh, well, I should say 3 things. Oh, we got a 3-1 Sunday. Oh, Lord. Woo. Yes, I said I wasn't going to do that again, but here we go. So on June 13th, we have Living Life in Joy. Then we have, I'm speaking at Rockland CSL, which you all know is my spiritual home. Thank you to those of you who popped in yesterday and was in the service with me. It was so wonderful to see you there. Shout out to Heike, who stayed for the whole service. I so appreciate that. So Rockland CSL, there's the information on the screen, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And then that evening, I am the guest on Regina Smithwick's podcast, and I'll share information about that. It is on June 13th at 7 p.m., and I'll let you know how you can check that out. The topic is about coaches. So she asked me to be a guest. So I'm really excited about that. So I think that's the joy news. Please support my ministry of joy. You can do so by supporting my Joy Line merchandise, which you all know is my Sip Joy mugs, my Living Life in Joy shirts, Connect to Your Yes shirts, long sleeve and short sleeve, and my Joy, Joy, Joy socks, represented right there by the Congregation of Joy. So thank you all so much for supporting my ministry. If you would like to give a love offering, you can do so at Cash App and Venmo. If anything that I'm doing in my ministry of joy is resonating with you, feeding your soul, giving you that that you need to get you right, then consider giving me a love offering. I really would appreciate that, because this is what I do, y'all. This is my full-time thing, right? This is it. Here we go. All right. So I'm looking at the time. I'm supposed to be getting better with the time, y'all, but it's already 37 minutes in. What should I do, producer? What should I do?
What you want to do? It's your show.
We already in it. We might as well keep going.
We might as well get a 5 a.m. beating. If we're going to get a beating, a 5 a.m. beating. We will get better, though. We will get right at 10 o'clock. We'll get out by 10. So cool. My quick response is, and I know you talked about my podcast, and so please go check out the podcast. It was surprising for me, too. So go check it out. Get Rich 101 on all the podcasting platforms. But what I wanted to respond to was today's lesson from the New York Times about be good to yourself. And I've been golfing a bit here in Nashville recently, and it's so fascinating that studies have shown that 90%, 86%, so let's round that up to 90% of golf is mental. And all it is if you can be good to yourself or not. That's all it is, because your inner critic will show up quickly when you're playing golf, because it's hard. It's harder than it looks. You're trying to hit that little ball, get it to go straight and far. Your inner critic shows up immediately, both sides, just going like this. And what's fascinating about it is when you're golfing with the group, you will be kind to each other. If your friend messes up, you'll be like, oh man, that's all right. It's down there. You'll say all these encouraging things to your friend. But when you mess up, your inner critic just goes berserk. And so I keep playing so that I can practice silencing my inner critic and being good to myself in real time, to silence that voice and say kind things to myself, just like I'm saying kind things to the people I'm playing golf with. So the point is, find ways to practice being good to yourself, because there are activities out here in the world where your inner critic will show up. And when you become aware of those activities, do those activities and practice silencing the inner critic. Silence the inner critic so you can be good to yourself. So that's my word of the day.
Yes. And Sekou, you sharing that story just reminded me of something I witnessed on the golf course when I was at Ocean City. The wedding was at a golf course. It was at I won't plug the golf course, but it was at a private golf course. Yacht. It was yacht and golf course. Okay. And so I was on the golf course and I was just, enjoying life, checking out what was going on.
Living your best life.
And so there was a group playing golf, and so this guy, he was so mad at how he was playing. And at one point he picked up the ball and threw it. And I couldn't hear what he was saying, but I know he wasn't saying I'm wonderful.
He was not.
He wasn't saying I'm doing the best that I can right now.
That's
so right. You're so right. Yo, practice.
If you want to hear your inner critic, go play golf. If you want to know how you really think about yourself, go play golf. Go try to play golf and see what happens. Your critic will show up.
Yes. So thank you all. Thank you, Sekou. Thank you all for being with me today on your Memorial Day. Enjoy it. Take care of yourself. Remember who you are and whose you are, and practice self-compassion. All right. All right, you all. I will see you tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. right here. We start a new series, y'all. We're going to start a new series tomorrow. So peace and blessings, peace and justice. We're living life in joy, connected to our yes.